before you say I do, make sure you and your partner have all your finances in check.
Oh, yes. To give us a few pointers, we're joined by local financial expert, professional Jeff Bangerter. And this statistic really, this surprised me. Financial woes only second to infidelity when it causes, in terms of divorce and couples separating. Yikes. Financial problems.
Yeah, it really is amazing. And you know, you think about it, half of marriages end in divorce these days. So I think it's really important that couples are open and honest in discussing their financial situation. And you know, it's much easier to be successful financially as a couple than it is individually.
You just have to be open and honest about it.
Yeah. So you got to figure out what roles you play in the relationship, right? Are you a spender? Are you a saver? Like,
yeah, and when it comes to that, when you think about it, that's such an important question to ask before you get married, because if you don't, and then you find out, oh, I've married this person that's either too frugal or they're spending money all the time. In fact, a recent study showed that 60% of couples said that, hey, my spouse is either spending too much or is too frugal, and it causes these fights. And so I recommend when I meet with clients that they sit down and, again, have this open discussion. How much do you make? What are your habits? And then I have a budget worksheet I recommend that they fill out. I have that available on my website at bangerterfinancial.com to help them get started.
So another question that you, of course, want to ask, before you tie the knot, who has debt and where is the debt? How much debt do we have?
It's really important to bring that conversation in before you tie the knot, right?
Yes.
So you know exactly what's going on. And I think in first marriages particularly, they're going to have student debt. And in fact, if they graduated in 2016, the average student debt is about $37,000.
Oh.
And then, you know, credit card and student debt can be really a hindrance to being able to buy that first home.
Absolutely.
So I think it's important that they understand how to deal with credit card debt. So I always recommend that you look at all your credit card debt and you really tackle the smallest debt first. Just pay minimum balance on the others, knock out the smallest one, then go to the next smallest one and get them all wiped out. Sometimes it's helpful to have a debt worksheet, so I have one of those on the website as well.
He's got a worksheet for that.
He's got a worksheet for that.
Absolutely.
And the discussion of children is actually a financial question, right?
Oh, yes, it is. They are pricey. They are.
Those of us with experience, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, actually, it's very important to think about it because from birth to age 18, you can spend up to $750,000 for a child.
Mariah
Courtney,
is well
you have
on her way in my
experience?
pocket, yes.
and it all depends on what you do, right? Whether it's
true.
sports or music lessons
Clubs.
and the electronics. Oh my goodness, it just goes on and on. So I have something on the website for that too. So I have a calculator there. It's actually really cool because you can go in and you can add the little extras and see how much it's really going to cost. But I think one of the things when we think about raising kids, you know, our first intuition as parents is, oh, I'm going to make sure I save for college. But, you know, the child can take out a loan for college.
Right.
There are no loans for you for retirement. So you got to focus on retirement first and then save as much as you can toward their college.
And that's another question is how and when are we going to retire?
Yeah, so when you're thinking about it, it always seems kind of awkward, you know, especially if you're a young couple getting married, you know, you're maybe 25 and you're thinking, let's talk about retirement.
Right.
But it's really never too early to start planning for retirement. So I think the more you kind of talk about what your objective is in retirement, what kind of lifestyle you want to have, and then visualize that, it becomes more real. You can actually then go ahead and commit. And it is a budget item. You should be saving 10% of your earnings, you know, every month toward retirement. And participate, of course, if you have a company 401k, make sure you're participating in that. And if not, set up your own plan and make sure. And then as you know, go along and meet with a financial professional after a while and make sure that you're on track to meet your objective.
All right.
And Jeff Bangerter is there and ready to serve.
Absolutely.
We're going to link your website, Bangerter Financial, to ours, GoodDaySacramento.com. Under show info and today's dates, you can get some more details on all the worksheets right
Thank
there.
you.
All the worksheets.
I love
many
it.
worksheets.
Right? Thanks,
Thanks,
Jeff.
Jeff.
Great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. All right. Time now is 7:52. Well, there are a lot of